Hey there. I know many of you have been anxiously checking your mailboxes, hoping to find some relief during these challenging economic times. I'm here today with some potentially life-changing news that could affect millions of Social Security and SSI recipients across the country. The government has just announced a new round of stimulus payments, and this time, they're doing something different. They're actually mailing physical checks worth $2,000 to eligible beneficiaries. This isn't just another internet rumor or clickbait headline. This is information you need to know about right now. I've spent the last decade helping seniors navigate their benefits, and I can tell you that these kinds of direct payments don't come around often. That's why I'm particularly excited to break down exactly who qualifies, when you can expect your check, and most importantly, what you need to do to make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. In just the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about these $2,000 checks, including some crucial details that many other sources aren't talking about. Before we dive into all the important details, take a quick second to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We're committed to bringing you the latest updates on Social Security, SSI, and other critical benefits that affect your financial well-being. Drop a comment below with your state. I'd love to know where our community members are from, and I'll be sharing state-specific information throughout this video that might be relevant to you. Now, let's get into the details of this stimulus payment and make sure you're prepared for what's coming. Now, let me share with you exactly what you need to know about these $2,000 stimulus checks. First and foremost, this stimulus package is specifically designed to help Social Security and SSI recipients cope with the ongoing effects of inflation and rising living costs. Unlike previous stimulus payments, this round is being distributed exclusively through physical checks. Yes, actual checks in your mailbox, not direct deposits. This decision was made to ensure that every eligible recipient, especially those who don't have direct deposit set up, can access these funds. Let's talk about who exactly qualifies for these checks. If you're currently receiving Social Security retirement benefits, Social Security disability insurance, SSDI, supplemental security income, SSI, or railroad retirement benefits, you're likely eligible for this payment. The government has specifically structured this stimulus to target those who rely on fixed incomes and have been hit hardest by recent economic challenges. What makes this round different is that there's no complicated income threshold to worry about. If you receive any of these benefits, you're already in the system and likely eligible. Now, you might be wondering about the timing of these checks. The Treasury Department has announced a systematic rollout plan based on the last digits of recipients' Social Security numbers. This organized approach helps prevent any overwhelming of the postal system and ensures a smooth distribution process. For those whose Social Security numbers end in 0 to 33, your check should be arriving this week. If your number ends in 34 to 66, expect your check next week. And for those with numbers ending in 67 to 99, your checks will be mailed the following week. Here's something crucial that many people don't realize. These $2,000 checks are completely separate from your regular monthly benefits. This means you'll still receive your usual Social Security or SSI payment as scheduled. The stimulus check is additional support, designed to help with those extra expenses that have been piling up. And unlike some previous stimulus payments, this one won't affect your eligibility for other benefits or count as income for benefit calculations. But there's more you should know about these checks. The government has implemented some new security features to prevent fraud and ensure these payments reach their intended recipients. When you receive your check, you'll notice a special watermark and security thread. These are important features to verify its authenticity. I strongly recommend examining these security features carefully before attempting to cash or deposit your check. Speaking of cashing these checks, let's talk about the best ways to handle this money once it arrives. Many banks and credit unions are preparing for this influx of check deposits by extending their hours and streamlining their verification processes. Some financial institutions are even waiving check cashing fees specifically for these stimulus checks. I recommend calling your bank ahead of time to ask about their specific procedures and any special accommodations they're making for these payments. For those of you who might be caring for family members who receive Social Security or SSI benefits, there are some important things to consider. If you're a designated representative payee, you'll need to follow specific guidelines when handling this stimulus payment. The Social Security Administration has made it clear that these funds should be used for the immediate needs of the beneficiary, and proper documentation of how the money is spent should be maintained. Many of you have been asking about what happens if you've recently moved or changed your address. Here's the good news. If you've properly updated your address with the Social Security Administration, your check will be forwarded to your new address. However, if you haven't updated your information, now is the crucial time to do so. You can update your address online through the Social Security Administration's website or by calling their toll-free number. Don't wait on this. Making sure your address is current is essential to receiving your payment promptly. Let's address another common concern. What if you share expenses with other family members who also receive benefits? Each eligible individual will receive their own $2,000 check. This means if both you and your spouse receive Social Security benefits, you should expect two separate checks totaling $4,000. The same applies to households where multiple family members receive different types of benefits. Each eligible person will receive their own check. Now, I want to touch on something that's causing some confusion: the tax implications of these stimulus checks. Just like previous stimulus payments, these $2,000 checks are not considered taxable income. You won't need to report this payment on your tax return, and it won't affect your tax bracket or liability. This is particularly important for those of you who carefully manage your income to maintain eligibility for other benefits or programs. Here's something else you should be aware of. There are unfortunately already scammers trying to take advantage of this situation. Remember, no legitimate government official will ever call, email, or text you asking for personal information or payment to process your stimulus check. If someone contacts you claiming to be from the government and asks for your Social Security number, bank information, or any kind of payment, it's a scam. The government already has all the information they need to send your check. Let's talk about what you can do while waiting for your check to arrive. First, make sure your mailbox is secure and checked regularly. If you use a P.O. box, ensure your box rent is current. It's also a good idea to keep track of your mail delivery patterns and note any irregularities. If you're concerned about mail theft in your area, consider setting up informed delivery through the USPS website. This free service lets you preview your incoming mail digitally. For those of you wondering about using these funds wisely, I have some practical suggestions. While everyone's situation is different, consider prioritizing any outstanding medical expenses, necessary home repairs, or essential bills. Some financial advisors are recommending setting aside a portion of this money for emergency savings, especially given the uncertain economic climate. Remember, this is your money to use as you see fit, but thinking strategically about its use can help extend its benefits. Here's something interesting that many people don't know. If you're currently residing in a nursing home or assisted living facility, these stimulus checks are yours to keep. By law, these facilities cannot seize these payments or require you to sign them over as payment for care. This protection ensures that you maintain control over how these funds are used, regardless of your living situation. Let's address another important point. What happens if you're eligible but don't receive your check in the expected time frame? The Treasury Department has established a special hotline specifically for these stimulus payments. If your check doesn't arrive within 2 weeks of your expected delivery window, you can call this number to initiate a trace on your payment. Make sure to have your Social Security number and other identifying information ready when you make this call. For those of you who help manage finances for others, here's crucial information about depositing these checks. If you're depositing a check on behalf of someone else, many banks are requiring additional documentation to prevent fraud. This might include a power of attorney, representative payee documentation, or other legal papers showing your authority to handle these funds. It's best to bring these documents with you when you go to deposit the check. One aspect that's particularly noteworthy about this stimulus payment is its potential impact on local economies. When seniors receive these checks, the benefits often ripple throughout their communities. Local businesses, healthcare providers, and service industries all stand to benefit as these funds circulate through the economy. This is one reason why the government chose to distribute these payments specifically to Social Security and SSI recipients. They tend to spend these funds quickly on necessary goods and services. Looking ahead, there are discussions about potential additional support payments in the coming months. While nothing is confirmed yet, lawmakers are considering various proposals to provide ongoing assistance to Social Security and SSI recipients. This $2,000 payment might be just the first step in a broader support program. As always, I'll keep you updated on any new developments in future videos. One final point I want to emphasize. If you need help understanding any aspect of these stimulus payments, don't hesitate to reach out to your local Social Security office or financial advisor. Many communities also have senior centers and advocacy organizations that can provide guidance and support in navigating this process. Remember, asking questions and seeking clarification is always better than making assumptions when it comes to your financial well-being.